Okay, we're live. Okay. So today the topic of the day is transformations. I suppose they are linear transformations based off this complex topic I'm learning at the moment, but transformations, okay? Let's map this topic out for you. So in this chapter, we're going to be talking about a few types of transformations. One type of transformation, actually, let's see if you guys can come up with a list. There are three major, these all fall into the category of rigid transformations. Let's hope that word is in frame. Rigid transformations, and there's three of them. And maybe on this side of the board, I'll put the non-rigid transformations. All right, let's map out the whole chapter today, and then we'll get into only one of these topics. Only one type of transformation. Okay. What do you guys think? So let's just give you a little visual demonstration. I have a coordinate grid, and on that coordinate grid, I have a circle. Okay, I have a circle. Hopefully you guys, well actually you might not understand. You might think I'm trying to circle something. Let's make a triangle. What's up? Yeah, I know, the circle I just thought was going to be. So you have a triangle, okay? And the triangle has 3 points, A, B, and C. So A, I don't know if you can see that, but I'm going to actually list the coordinates for you here. So let's just say A has the coordinate location of 3, 6. Okay? And B has the coordinate location of 2, 4, let's just say. And C has the coordinate location of 7, 3. Okay? All right? And now I'm going to transform that triangle made up of these 3 vertices and the lines that connect those 3 vertices. I'm going to move it around the coordinate grid. That's the name of the game. I'm moving something. And there's ways to move it. So what's one way I can move that triangle around my coordinate grid? Can we think of one, Caleb?
Reflection?
Reflection is one of them, yeah. I'm going to put that in the number 2 slot. We'll leave room for number 1 as the topic I'm discussing today. Reflection, okay? And what that looks like essentially, not on the coordinate grid, but just in general, if I have an image here, right, that would be known as the pre-image. Okay, so I'm going to throw that terminology in for this example. And we need to know this terminology of pre-image. That's the pre-image. And after I reflect it to this side over here, that's the image. Okay, so we need to know the terminology of pre-image and image. Okay? Okay. What's another type of transformation? Caleb again.
Translation?
Translation. That's a topic of the day. Translation. Okay. Yes, translation, also known as, I'll put in parentheses here, slide. Because it's literally just sliding it around, okay? So you have some triangle, and then I want to slide it by a vector going that direction and that magnitude, and now my triangle is here. Okay? It's a slide. Should be the same orientation though, I kind of drew it funky. Something like that, something like that. Okay, that's a slide. That's a translation. Alright, what's another type? What do you guys think? Ruben?
A rotation.
A rotation. Okay, it's starting to come back to us. I can see that now. The light bulbs are coming on. A rotation. Alright, and this is known as your turn. So we have a reflection, a slide, and a turn. Reflection, I guess you could call it a mirror, but it doesn't even make sense. You guys know what a reflection is. Alright, so in this example, let's just imagine I have this triangle here, and I want to rotate it 90 degrees around the origin. It'll look like that. Okay? Sorry, see that? So I just rotated it around the origin. Alright, but we'll take a look at all of these different things more deeply, but the one I'm concerned with today's translation. So rigid transformations, which I didn't explain to you before, they maintain their size and they maintain their shape. The simplest way to define it is just same size, same shape. That's what rigid is defined as, same size, same shape. Whereas non-rigid, you can maybe somehow manipulate a shape or whatever it is and not maintain its size or shape. Can we think of an example of something over here in this column? There's really one main one and then some others. Alright, this one example of non-rigid is a dilation, making it bigger or smaller, equivalent to on Microsoft Word or Google Doc or whatever, making an image by dragging the corner so it maintains its dimensions, or sorry, maintains its proportions, I should say. So yeah, there's a dilation. Make it bigger or smaller, so they can make it bigger, like a square here, can become a bigger square or a smaller square. I'm dilating the square. Alright, and number 2 here, the major one is compressions / stretch. Alright, so here a square, let's not get out of frame. A square can be elongated into a rectangle, something like that. This is a horizontal stretch. Alright, but we'll get into that when the topic comes up later on. Okay, so that's the overview of everything. And now I'm just going to focus up on translations. You know what, I'm going to pause here for a second.
Please excuse this interruption.